There is a power the world often overlooks, a power that doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, and doesn't seek applause. It's the power that moves mountains in the background, shifts seasons without warning, and changes lives without a single announcement. That power is found in quiet growth. Most people miss it because they're too busy chasing recognition, trying to prove they're progressing. But the truth is, the most extraordinary transformations rarely happen in the spotlight. They happen in the silence of preparation, in the stillness of discipline, in the hidden seasons when nobody else sees what's going on inside you. Quiet growth is the kind of growth that reshapes your entire life without you having to broadcast every step. It's when you decide that your development is more important than your display. In today's world, it's almost countercultural to keep your progress to yourself. We're living in a time when everyone feels the need to share every move, every plan, every success, and even every struggle. But here's the truth you must understand. Real strength is built when no one is watching. Just like a seed buried deep in the soil, there is a process that happens out of sight, a process that requires darkness, patience, and consistency before anything breaks through the surface. Think about that seed. No one celebrates it when it's underground. No one is posting pictures of it. No one is clapping for it. From the outside, it may even look like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, a miracle is unfolding. The roots are spreading, the foundation is being laid, and the seed is transforming in ways that are invisible to the naked eye. That's what happens to you in your seasons of quiet growth. From the outside, it may look like nothing has changed, but within you, your faith is deepening, your vision is sharpening, and your strength is multiplying. The problem is that many people uproot their progress by seeking validation too early. Just as a seed cannot survive if it's constantly dug up to check if it's growing, you can't keep interrupting your own development by exposing it prematurely. Quiet growth protects you. It shields you from unnecessary criticism and from the voices that would plant doubt in your heart. Not everyone can handle your vision in its early stages. Not everyone has the capacity to believe in something they can't yet see. And if you keep revealing your progress before it's ready, you invite opinions that can weaken your faith and slow your momentum. Quiet growth is also powerful because it builds something inside you that noise cannot: inner stability. You're no longer depending on the cheers of others to keep moving. You're no longer shaken when someone doubts you. You're no longer distracted by the competition. In the stillness, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. You start to discern what's truly important. You develop patience that the fast-paced, performance-driven world can't give you. And when that patience combines with persistence, you become unstoppable. The truth is, the world only sees the finished product. They'll call you lucky when they finally notice your success, but you'll know it wasn't luck. It was quiet, consistent growth. It was the discipline to show up when nobody cared. It was the courage to keep going without the safety net of public approval. It was the wisdom to let your roots grow deep before letting your branches reach high. And those roots will sustain you when the storms come, because storms will always come. In quiet growth, you learn to be content with progress even when it's unseen. You learn to trust the process even when it feels slow. You stop rushing because you realize that anything built too fast rarely lasts. You understand that a strong foundation is more valuable than a fast breakthrough. You don't need everyone to see your every step. What matters is that you are moving in the right direction, even if the world has no idea, and slowly without you even noticing. The person you're becoming in private is preparing you for the life you've been dreaming of in public. One of the greatest lessons you will ever learn in life is that your energy is not limitless. You only have so much mental strength, emotional capacity, and spiritual focus to give each day. And if you spend that energy trying to convince people of your worth, trying to defend your decisions, or trying to prove yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you, you will find yourself drained before you even take the steps you truly need to take. Guarding your energy is not about being selfish, it's about being wise. Every dream, every calling, every assignment on your life requires fuel. That fuel is your focus, your faith, and your determination. And if you are constantly pouring that fuel into battles that don't matter, you will have nothing left to put into the mission that truly matters. Think about it. How many times have you allowed someone's doubt, criticism, or disbelief to pull you into a long explanation or a heated argument? How many hours have you wasted replaying what someone said, trying to figure out how to make them see your point of view? That's energy you could have used to build, to create, to grow, to move forward. Guarding your energy starts with knowing what is and isn't worth your attention. Not every invitation to argue is worth accepting. Not every opportunity to explain yourself is worth taking. Some people aren't looking for understanding, they're looking for control. They question your moves not because they care about your growth, but because your progress threatens the limits they have accepted for themselves. And if you are not careful, you will allow their limited mindset to become the ceiling over your own potential. You must learn to recognize where your energy is going. Your focus is like a light. When it's concentrated, it can cut through the thickest darkness. But when it's scattered across too many places, it loses its power. Some of you are wondering why you feel exhausted and unmotivated, even though your dream still excites you. It's not because you've lost passion. It's because you've been spending your energy fighting distractions that don't deserve your strength. Every unnecessary argument, every conversation with someone who doubts you, every moment spent defending yourself is like a small leak in a water tank. Eventually, the leaks drain you dry, and you have nothing left for the things that truly matter. Guarding your energy also means protecting your mind from voices that weaken your faith. This doesn't mean you become isolated or arrogant. It means you are intentional about what you allow to influence your thinking. The people you surround yourself with will either feed your vision or starve it. If you keep company with those who constantly speak fear, negativity, and limitation, they will slowly drain the boldness out of you. But if you guard your space and protect your mental atmosphere, you create an environment where faith can grow strong, where your confidence can deepen, and where your focus can remain unshaken. You must remember, your destiny does not need everyone's approval. It doesn't even require their understanding. It requires your commitment, your discipline, and your ability to stay aligned with what you know in your heart is right. Guarding your energy is how you keep that alignment. It's how you avoid the trap of living for the applause of others while losing the sense of who you are. When you stop trying to convince those who will never see your vision, you free yourself to pour your full strength into the path ahead. And the more you focus your energy on building instead of battling, the more unstoppable your progress becomes. There is a unique power that comes when your heart, your mind, and your actions are all moving in the same direction. It's called alignment. Most people don't realize how much of their frustration comes from being out of alignment with themselves. They have dreams in their heart that their mind constantly doubts. They have thoughts filled with vision but take actions that contradict those thoughts. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why doors don't open, and why progress feels like pushing against an invisible wall. The truth is, nothing flows easily when you're out of alignment. But when you get your inner world in order, everything in your outer world starts to follow. Alignment is when your beliefs, your decisions, and your habits all agree with each other. You're no longer speaking one thing while living another. You're no longer setting goals without adjusting your lifestyle to match them. There's no internal tug of war draining your strength. You know what you want, you believe you can have it, and you take consistent action to move toward it. And when that happens, your energy becomes powerful and focused because you are not wasting it fighting yourself. You are no longer divided between who you are and who you're trying to become. You are walking in unity with your own purpose. Think about a car with its wheels out of alignment. You can still drive it, but you'll notice it keeps pulling you in the wrong direction. You'll have to work harder to stay on course, and even then, you'll wear yourself out just trying to go straight. That's exactly what happens when you're misaligned in life. You can still move forward, but you're expending unnecessary effort because part of you is resisting the very thing you're trying to do. But when the wheels are aligned, you can go farther, faster, and with less strain. The same is true for your life. When your thoughts, words, and actions agree, you gain momentum that makes progress almost effortless. Self-alignment also brings peace. When you are misaligned, you live with an inner conflict that never lets you rest. Your mind says one thing, your emotions pull another way, and your actions tell a completely different story. But when you align yourself, that inner tension disappears. You can wake up in the morning knowing that what you're doing matches what you believe and that where you're heading matches where you truly want to go. That peace is priceless because it frees you from second-guessing every step. It allows you to move forward with confidence, not hesitation. The reason alignment is so powerful is because it attracts clarity. When you are scattered inside, you will see scattered results outside. But when you are aligned inside, you become a magnet for the right opportunities, the right relationships, and the right timing. People sense it when you are sure of yourself. Doors open for those who carry certainty, because certainty inspires trust. And the kind of certainty alignment gives you is not arrogance. It's the quiet assurance that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do. Alignment also requires honesty with yourself. You can't align your life around a lie. If you say you want success but keep making excuses for inaction, you are not aligned. If you say you value health but keep treating your body recklessly, you are not aligned. If you say you trust God but live every day driven by fear, you are not aligned. The first step to alignment is acknowledging where your words and actions are in conflict, and then making the changes necessary to bring them together. That honesty may be uncomfortable, but it's the doorway to power. When you reach that place where your heart is in agreement with your mind, and your mind is in agreement with your actions, something shifts. You stop feeling like you're fighting yourself every day. You stop questioning whether you have what it takes. You start walking with a quiet confidence that others can feel, even if they can't explain it. You become consistent, and consistency is what builds results that last. One of the most subtle ways we drain our focus and slow our growth is by constantly feeling the need to explain ourselves. At first, it seems harmless. We think we're just being polite, transparent, or respectful by making sure everyone understands why we're making certain decisions. But over time, it becomes a trap, because every time you explain yourself to the wrong person, you open the door for them to question, criticize, and even weaken the conviction you had when you started. Not everyone is meant to have a say in your journey, and not everyone is capable of understanding the season you are in. The need to over-explain often comes from insecurity. We want people to approve of our choices. We want to make sure no one misunderstands us. We want to protect ourselves from judgment. But here's the truth. There will always be people who misunderstand you no matter how clearly you speak. There will always be those who twist your words, doubt your motives, or challenge your decisions. And when you live to avoid their misunderstanding, you will find yourself living in constant defense mode instead of growth mode. Explaining yourself to the wrong people is like planting seeds in rocky soil. No matter how well you plant them, they won't take root. And in the process, you've wasted energy that could have been used to nurture the places where your vision is truly understood and supported. Every conversation you have with someone who doesn't have the capacity to see what you see is a withdrawal from your energy account. And if you keep making withdrawals without deposits, you'll eventually run dry. Over-explaining can also rob you of your confidence. The more you try to justify your path, the more you invite doubt into it. When you repeat your reasons over and over to people who don't believe in you, you start to hear your own words through their skepticism instead of your original conviction. Slowly, you may begin to question if you're truly doing the right thing, not because something has changed, but because you've allowed too many outside voices to speak into something that was never theirs to understand. There's a reason why some of the most successful and fulfilled people in life don't broadcast every move they make. It's not because they're secretive for the sake of being mysterious. It's because they understand that their focus is too valuable to waste on unnecessary explanations. They know their time is better spent building than convincing. And when the results come, those same people who doubted them will see the evidence for themselves, no explanations required. It's also important to realize that over-explaining can attract unnecessary resistance. Sometimes people will challenge you simply because you've given them enough details to do so. If you keep certain things to yourself, you limit their ability to interfere. There's wisdom in silence, not the silence of fear, but the silence of strategy. The less you feel the need to defend every decision, the more you free yourself to make those decisions with clarity and peace. Guarding your vision from over-explaining is not about hiding. It's about protecting the fragile stages of your growth. Just like a newborn is shielded from too much exposure in its earliest days, your vision needs time to grow strong before you place it in the open air of public opinion. Some things should be nurtured quietly until they are ready to stand on their own. And once they are, the proof of their strength will speak louder than any words you could have given in defense of them. Silence is often misunderstood. Many think of it as weakness, passivity, or an inability to speak up for oneself. But in reality, silence can be one of the most powerful and strategic moves you can make in life. Silence is not the absence of power. It is the concentration of it. It is the choice to withhold your words until the right moment, to preserve your energy for the battles that truly matter, and to let your actions speak in ways your mouth never could. There are seasons in life where speaking too soon can cost you everything. You may have a dream burning in your heart, a plan forming in your mind, or a shift taking place in your spirit. And while the temptation is strong to share it with everyone around you, silence gives that vision the protection it needs to develop. You don't owe every person an explanation, and you don't have to announce every move you're making. Silence gives you the space to prepare without interference, to move without unnecessary resistance, and to focus without the noise of outside opinions clouding your direction. Silence is also a weapon against distraction. Words often invite conversation, and conversation can lead to debates, criticism, or even doubt being planted in your mind. When you stay silent about certain things, you avoid giving others the opportunity to pull you off course. You're not being rude, you're being intentional. You're choosing to guard your thoughts, your emotions, and your focus. It's like carrying a fragile treasure through a crowded street. You wouldn't wave it around for everyone to see. You would hold it close, protect it, and make sure it reaches its destination intact. On a deeper level, silence is a spiritual discipline. Throughout history, some of the greatest breakthroughs were birthed in moments of stillness, when people stopped speaking long enough to listen to their own hearts, to wisdom, and to the voice of God. Silence creates room for clarity. When you quiet the noise around you, you begin to hear guidance that was drowned out before. You start to recognize the gentle nudges that direct your path, the quiet confirmations that tell you you're moving in the right direction, and the subtle warnings that help you avoid unnecessary pain. Silence can also be a shield against the schemes of those who do not have your best interest at heart. Not everyone who smiles at you is rooting for you. Some are waiting for information they can use to slow you down, undermine your progress, or plant seeds of discouragement. When you practice strategic silence, you leave no openings for such interference. You control the narrative by not giving away the details that don't need to be known. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself from everyone. It means you learn to discern who has earned the right to hear your plans and who has not. And silence isn't just about holding back words, it's about holding back reactions. When someone provokes you, criticizes you, or tries to pull you into drama, silence can be the most powerful response. Not because you don't have something to say, but because you understand that responding would cost you peace, time, and focus. Silence in the face of provocation says, "I know where I'm going, and I refuse to let you distract me from getting there." It's not weakness, it's wisdom wrapped in restraint. When used intentionally, silence becomes a force that amplifies your actions. People begin to notice that while others are constantly explaining, defending, and reacting, you are quietly moving forward. They can't quite figure out your next step because you don't announce it. They can't interfere with your progress because they don't know enough about it. And when the results show, they realize that the silence they mistook for inaction was actually the soil where your victory was growing. One of the hardest things for most people to do is believe in something they cannot see. We live in a world that celebrates what is visible: numbers, results, awards, public recognition. But the most important part of any transformation happens long before anyone else notices it. Faith in the unseen process means trusting that what you are working on in the quiet, what you are believing for in your heart, and what you are building in private is already moving toward fulfillment, even if there's no visible evidence yet. It's believing that just because you can't see the outcome doesn't mean it's not coming. Think about the way a tree grows. Long before its branches ever touch the sky, its roots are pushing deep into the soil. That rooting process takes time, and from the surface it can look like nothing is happening at all. Someone passing by might even assume the seed has failed. But those who understand the process know better. They know that the invisible stage is the most critical stage. It's where stability, strength, and longevity are developed. In the same way, your unseen process is where the foundation of your future is being built. You may not see immediate results, but you are developing the strength you'll need to handle what's ahead. Faith in the unseen process requires patience, and patience is not passive. It's active trust. It's showing up day after day, giving your best, and keeping your heart steady even when the visible results seem small. It's the discipline to keep moving forward when others might give up because they don't see instant rewards. That's why so many people quit too soon. They assume that silence means nothing is happening, But in reality, the process is unfolding exactly as it should. It's just happening beneath the surface out of sight. The unseen process also tests your commitment. It's easy to stay motivated when you're getting constant recognition, but what about when no one claps, no one notices, and no one affirms you? That's where real faith is forged. In those moments, you learn whether you are working for the approval of others or for the fulfillment of the calling placed inside you. When you keep going without applause, you prove to yourself and to life that you are serious about where you're heading. Another challenge of the unseen process is resisting the urge to compare your journey to someone else's. You might see others sprinting ahead, achieving visible success while you're still in the hidden stages of preparation. But comparison is dangerous because it ignores the differences in seasons and assignments. Someone else may be reaping a harvest now, but you don't know how long they were in their own unseen process before it became visible. Faith in your own process means trusting your timing, your path, and the unique way your journey is unfolding. And here's something important to remember: the unseen process is where you are shaped for the weight of your future. If the opportunity comes before you're ready, it can crush you instead of elevate you. The hidden seasons strengthen you so that when your moment comes, you can stand under the pressure, manage the blessing, and sustain the success. Many people pray for doors to open, but if those doors open before the foundation is ready, they can't stay standing. Faith in the unseen process protects you from premature exposure. When you truly embrace the unseen process, you stop panicking about timelines. You stop rushing to make things happen in your own strength. You understand that just because the fruit is not yet visible doesn't mean the tree isn't growing. And because you trust the process, you are able to work with a calm confidence instead of a frantic desperation. That calmness becomes your strength. That steadiness becomes your advantage. And that faith becomes the fuel that keeps you moving forward, even in the silence. There comes a moment in every journey when the momentum changes. It doesn't always happen with fireworks or a loud announcement. Sometimes it's subtle, almost unnoticeable at first. But if you've been focused, disciplined, and faithful in the unseen process, the shift is inevitable. It's the moment when everything you've been building in silence starts to align in the visible world. It's when the seeds you've been planting in faith break through the surface, when opportunities you didn't chase start finding you, when people begin to notice the growth you didn't have to advertise. This shift doesn't come because you forced it. It comes because you prepared for it. While others were distracted, you were building. While others were talking, you were working. While others were chasing quick wins, you were establishing a strong foundation. And now, what you've been nurturing in private begins to take shape in public. The shift is the natural result of consistency, patience, and focus. It's the harvest that follows the season of planting and watering. The beauty of the inevitable shift is that it feels almost effortless when it arrives. That doesn't mean the work wasn't hard. It means you've been so faithful in your preparation that when the doors start opening, you are ready to walk through them without hesitation. What once felt heavy now feels natural because you've developed the strength to carry it. What once seemed impossible now feels attainable because you've already trained for it in the unseen places. And here's what's powerful: when the shift comes, you don't have to chase validation. The results speak for themselves. People who once questioned you will start asking how you did it. Those who overlooked you will now seek your insight. Opportunities will show up in ways you couldn't have predicted or manufactured on your own. It's as if the universe, or God Himself, starts arranging the right connections, the right timing, and the right circumstances all at once. But the truth is, those things were always being prepared. You just couldn't see them until now. The inevitable shift also changes the way you see challenges. When you've walked through the hidden seasons, you no longer panic when things take time or when obstacles appear. You've already learned that delays don't mean denial, and that what is meant for you cannot be taken away by anyone else. The shift gives you a new confidence, not an arrogant one, but a quiet, unshakable assurance that you are on the right path and that every step has been worth it. What many people don't realize is that the shift isn't just external, it's internal first. Before circumstances change around you, something changes inside you. You stop seeking permission to pursue what's in your heart. You stop needing constant reassurance. You stop doubting your own abilities. That internal shift is the real victory, because once your mindset changes, the external results are simply a reflection of what already happened within you. The world might call it luck or timing, but you'll know the truth. It was the result of daily choices, silent sacrifices, and unwavering faith when no one else was watching. And when this shift starts to unfold, you realize that you didn't just get what you were waiting for. You became the person who could handle it. The weight of responsibility that once might have crushed you now feels like a crown you were born to wear. You understand that every silent day, every unseen effort, every moment you chose discipline over distraction was a brick in the foundation that now supports you. And because you built it the right way, it will stand no matter what storms come next. So now you know the secret. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, everything falls into place. It's not because you are hiding or running from the world, but because you are building with intention, protecting your energy, aligning your heart and mind, and trusting the process even when no one else does. The journey may be quiet, it may feel slow, but every silent moment, every unseen effort is moving you closer to the breakthrough that will change your life forever. Remember, greatness is not rushed, it's not loud, it doesn't need constant approval. It grows in the stillness, it flourishes in faith, and it becomes unstoppable when you stop explaining and start believing. Your time is coming. The shift you've been waiting for is already on its way. So keep your eyes on your path, guard your heart, and walk boldly in the power of your quiet growth. Because when you do, you will watch how everything, without fail, falls perfectly into place.